welcome to the Intuitively Wild podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Levine. Living intuitively wild is about coming back home to ourselves. Here, we talk about how to live connected to ourselves, others, and nature, and make a commitment to radical authenticity, vulnerability, and acceptance. On this podcast, we delve into a wide range of topics that span the human experience. We peel back the layers and talk about the things that are often not talked about. This is a space for us all to walk and wander this path of life together. Let's dig into our roots and go deep. Brooke, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I have so much to say, but I'm going to start with the first question.
Okay.
What is something you wish people knew about you that you don't think many do?
Ooh. What do people not know about me? Right?
Mm-hmm. That you wish they did.
People, like I do have a very chill demeanor, which I think maybe people might think, oh, she's just so chill that nothing really bothers her. But it actually is kind of the opposite. I do tend to take on more and carry more on than I probably should, which is something that I'm like continuously working on. But yeah, I would say that probably is something that I've gotten before. Do you think that, or?
Well, it's interesting because I feel like a lot of times you say to me, you're so chill, like you seem so calm, and I'm like, I'm not calm.
Yeah.
So that's funny that you say that. But I think with you, it's like you have this, and also knowing your human design, you just have this energy of like, I'm going to get it done.
Yeah.
And so I don't get this sense of like not caring or being like overly chill, but it is kind of this like capable, like you seem very capable.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I don't like, to me, that kind of plays into that. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. And that's one reason when we met, I felt so drawn to work with you, because I think we both have this drive of like, and also you can be not blunt in a rude way, but you know what you think and you will say it and tell it.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, I don't want someone who's like trying to smooth rough edges or like beat around the bush. I want someone to just like tell me what it is. So I think that plays into it too. Like, you'll just come in and be like, no.
I've heard that before.
Yeah. But I think that's one reason why we've worked so well together, because we both have the energy to get things done, and we'll just like tell each other what we want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We totally like right away. Like, it's just always been so fun.
Yeah. But we're going to do a part 2 of this podcast and go into our process of working together, meeting, and just the whole unfolding of everything.
Yeah.
And I think saving that for a second podcast will be perfect, because I have so much to say about that.
Yeah.
So in this first episode, I really want to talk about your journey, and personally and also professionally, how you found interior design and how you started this business. I know that's kind of a broad question, so I can get more specific, but I'd just love to hear like anything that comes to mind at first.
So my mom was an interior designer when I was young, super crafty. She made curtains, she made pillows, she would wallpaper, she would do like the old school fabric on walls.
Wow.
Everything was Laura Ashley. It was just like Laura Ashley.
Sounds familiar.
Big in the 90s, 80s, 90s. And she would sponge paint, like all kinds of things. And she would take us to some of her jobs when she was doing that. And my room was always like, very tidy, and like everything matched. She let me have like some say, like she would take me to Dillard's and be like, okay, like which of these patterns, and colors do you like? And then she would just go to town with that.
She was like, you can decide, but it's going to look good.
Yeah, basically. And in college, my room was always very like interesting. You know, I remember putting this like tapestry on the ceiling, and I put white lights like between the ceiling and the tapestry, and like these trippy posts. I don't know. I mean, it was a very, people thought it was a very fun space. And then, you know, I was married for 17 years, and we would have to move a lot, and we would buy a house, and then I would fix it up, and then we would move. And it was, and I learned a lot through that, and I learned that I love that. And then we got divorced in 18 when we moved to New York, right after we moved to New York, and you know, I had to figure out what I wanted to do. I've been a teacher. I've taught special ed and theater.
I did not know any of this. I mean, I don't know how to live
I guess I could have said that in the first question.
No, this is, okay, keep going.
Yeah. You know, so my major was in theater. I was going to go like kind of the film and TV route. I had an internship at NBC, and it just, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like I ended up kind of, you know, getting married and going a different route and having a lot of different jobs. I had to like reinvent myself every time we moved, which was hard, but it was also like, I look at it as a blessing because I was able to really do something new. And, you know, and I really give myself some props for being able to just be so, like I was just such a, is chameleon the word, or?
Yeah, adaptable.
Adaptable, yeah. So, you know, I was a counselor. I helped people into college. I always knew I wanted to help people. Like I always, like, I'm on this planet to help people. So those are the types of jobs I would always explore. And so when it came time to me, you know, being on my own, I knew I didn't want to work for like corporate. I knew I wanted to help people. I was trying to think of what I was good at, and I was, you know, maybe because I'm Capricorn Virgo.
Another reason why I knew we were gonna work well together.
It's true. I'm very organized, and I love helping people organize their spaces, and that quick transformation is just so rewarding, and just affecting their lives the way that it does. So I started my business, Transformative Spacing, is what it was called, and I was a professional organizer.
Wow.
And then I ended up doing a show house called the Kingston Design Connection in Kingston, and I loved it. I loved like the process of it. I reused and repurposed everything in that space. And just the feedback was so great, and I was just like, wow, like I love this, like maybe this is something that I can do. And so it just kind of like flourished from there to what it is now. And I'm just like, I pinch myself every day that I'm able to do something creative that's really, you know, helping others. I love working on spaces like these where a lot of people can experience it. Yeah, so it's been a really great ride.
Wow. And that's such a testament to the fact that through structure you can be more creative, because I think that some people can think that, I've been having this conversation a lot, it's been a theme that's coming up on the podcast and just like in other areas of life, where people think that creative people are very flowy and unstructured, but you are someone who is very structured, and through that find more creativity in the structure. You are more creative. And I feel like your creativity comes out when we have guidelines and you're like working within that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sure, does that feel true to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I am very the type where with my dad, I got this from my father. It's just like, you know, we're hardworking. We have systems in place. if I didn't have these systems in place, it wouldn't work. I mean, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I have those skills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it does seem like everything's unfolded so naturally for you. I mean, I only know more so this trajectory of your design business, but it feels like one thing just led to the next, that led to the next, and like inspired the next evolution of it.
Yeah.
Has it felt that way for you as well?
Yeah, I think it's, I was just having the same conversation yesterday with someone. It's like, it's not easy to go after a dream, right? And to take a chance. I had no idea if this would even, I had no idea starting a business would work. Like I just basically created a web page, printed some cards, and I'm like, let's just see what happens. And I think, I'm a pretty spiritual person, and I think that, if you're making the effort, the universe will provide. And I think that that's completely what happened, and I'm always looking for the signs, and when new clients come in, and it may not be, maybe it's not totally aligned, but I'm like, there's a reason that they're coming through. And, to really kind of take more of a minute and really, to really, because I think, we have our teachers, we have our challenges. I am so grateful for all of the clients that I've had. Every one of them, I've been lucky, has been wonderful, and I've learned along the way, and I've made really great friendships, and I feel like I'm part of their family, so yeah.
Yeah, have you always been connected to your spirituality in that way, or had that evolve?
It was when my ex and I we bought a house in New Paltz, and I started going to yoga. I started meditating more, and then I just kind of realized that, my marriage, like the relationship, like our priorities were not aligned. And then I just started kind of trusting more and going with the flow, and not being so stressed out on whether or not things are going to work. And then it's like, once you start really doing that, things unfold and flow. And it's just, constantly being grateful for this life. Grateful for the challenges, grateful for the wins. Yeah.
And I mean, this is something we can go into more in the next conversation that we have, but I didn't know that you had this connection to your spirituality in the way that you did when I first reached out to you, or that you weave it into your work in the way that you can. But when we had that first conversation and you were like, oh, I'm going to go away this next week for my Reiki masters. I was like, oh, this is going to work out.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
That could have been better than the other one.
So many things people don't know about you.
Yeah. I mean, I think when I started kind of exploring myself more, when I was now independent, and, this is back in 2018, and I learning the kind of music I like now. And then I found this Reiki training came through. It was taught over at the SUNY New Paltz, or SUNY, the Ulster County, Ulster, SUNY.
Yeah, I know what
you know what I mean? I went through all the classes. I've been told by psychics years before that, I'm meant to heal people through their spaces. And also, like, I'm meant to be a healer. And so I started kind of taking these Reiki classes, and I do love it. I haven't really dived too much into it, but I do feel like, in terms of like working on people and like on them bodies. But I do feel like I bring that into spaces. I feel like I take a minute when I'm in the space to just like really like, what is this space? What am I feeling when I'm in the space? You know, and like what colors might make sense, you know, spatially, what makes more sense. I try to kind of really get more in touch with the space, which I feel like is a holistic approach.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that I really embody in my work, but all our lessons and different modalities don't have to be so separate and distinct from each other. They all kind of meld together. And so even though you're not doing a Reiki session, you're infusing everything that you've learned and that you have taken on into all the work that you do. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, taking a minute, being quiet, you know, and just like listening to what comes. But yeah.
And do you feel like when you entered this new chapter of creating a business for yourself, that it sounds like it was this initiation into a whole new part of your life?
Oh, 100%.
How do you kind of categorize that? Like, what, if you could say that there was a chapter you left behind and one that you entered, what did that feel like for you?
So when I was in college and I was majoring in theater, and I was just so like, I mean, it was such a creative program. I felt myself. And there were parts of myself that I felt for sure, like when I was a teacher, and but it wasn't again until I started this business that I like had this similar feeling of back when I was in college. I don't know if it's this playful, like inner child is kind of what I feel.
That definitely comes out in you.
Does it?
Yeah, well, I mean, one reason I love working with you is because it does feel like you bring this, I guess playful energy, or it feels like a creative energy.
Oh yeah.
Which in and of itself is playful.
Yeah. I get very excited.
Yeah.
I mean, when we just saw this light, I was dying.
Yeah. It's such a good feeling.
Yeah.
And do you, I'm going from my limited vantage point, but do you feel like you are entering a new chapter now? Because from what you've shared with me, it feels like there's a new chapter of your life that you're entering into.
That's 100% accurate. So I think what I struggle with in this line of work is, you know, so what I know is everyone can benefit from being in a space that's a reflection of them, that, you know, is clutter-free, it can be beautiful, you know, and not everyone can afford someone to help them. So what I'm trying to figure out is how can I be accessible for everyone? So, you know, I've taught a few workshops, transforming your space for a healthier you, which I love. And, you know, I've thought about maybe figuring out how to like maybe start coaching.
Wow.
You know?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because I feel like we've been kind of doing a little bit of that, and this was kind of the first time I've tried that, and I feel like it's I think it's like part of my teacher in me, you know, and it's cool to just like help people through the process. So I'm toying with that idea. You know, so it's like trying to figure out how I can make myself more accessible and just like affordable, and also figuring out how, you know, I really think I'm also meant to do more of this Reiki too. So, you know, I recently bought a house.
Yay! We're so excited.
And that was just like one of those serendipitous, so easy kind of crazy things.
Yeah.
So I know it's meant to be. There's 2 artist studios in the back. I'm thinking one of them will be my workshop space, because I still love like giving life to old things. And then I'm thinking the other space could be for my Reiki. You know, so I'm that's like the new chapter. You know, we'll be out in Gardner, be more in nature. You know, I think community is going to be like, I'm so excited for you in this space. I mean, it's such perfect timing. Community is so important. So, you know, I think that if I can also create a space, you know, in nature. So yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I don't know. I'm excited for what's to come. I have no idea. But I'm, again, just like looking for the signs and just going with the flow and really figuring out, what do I love about my job specifically? Yeah. And then like moving forward with that.
Yeah, well, you're in the in-between space, which is a space I've been in for quite some time, it feels like. And I think it's such a beautiful space to just be present with, because you really can be like, okay, what do I need to just leave behind? Yeah. And what do I want to take with me? And to allow it to kind of reveal itself to you layer by layer, and just being open to that process instead of rushing into the next thing just because you're uncomfortable with the unknown. Yeah. But has that felt easy for you, or does it take effort to allow yourself to be in this in-between uncertain period?
I think now that I'm more spiritual, it's a lot easier. You know, and I think also I'm adaptable. I've learned that like through, I mean, sometimes we had to move twice in 1 year. Wow. And I was like, you know, I was the one that coordinated the move. I was the one both in and out. You know, I was the one that was coordinating the redesign of this. Like, it was so much. So I know that I'm capable of change. I embrace change. I think change is so good. Yeah. I mean, you look at where you're at now, and it's because of these previous things that have happened, and some of them were very hard, I'm sure, and then it's like, but all of those things led to this. So yeah, no, I think I'm excited about it.
Yeah. And I also want to loop back to the community piece, because I also, before moving here, lived in a lot of different places, always on the go. And then deciding to put down roots here and open this space for a community has been, to some people who knew me in past lives are like still shocked about it, that I've decided to stay.
Really? Why?
Because I've just always been a traveler. Yeah, that's the biggest piece. And I've always been very independent and like doing things on my own, and like kind of like mysterious. And people didn't really know what I was doing. Yeah. In certain ways. So I think the fact that I'm staying and opening a space. Yeah. But also those are people who haven't witnessed me through all the parts of my evolution. So I think people who have, it makes sense. It makes sense to them too. But yeah, community has just become so important to me, and fostering it and being the person who can make space for others to find that. Yeah. And it sounds like you also have traveled a lot, been in a lot of different places, and I'm not sure if you had a similar experience where community was harder to establish because you're traveling so much. But either way, it's so different from you now putting down roots and opening up your home in a lot of ways to bring people in. So I'm curious your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, with every move, like I said, I had to kind of reinvent myself and find my community. And I, like, looking back, I mean, I give myself props. I really put myself out there. I would go to networking events. I would really, get involved in things I was interested in to really meet people. And I made some really great friends. But I will say that, like, this is a completely kind of different experience here in this area. Like I live in Kingston, and the people here, you know, it's just been like magical. I feel like there's just so many, I mean, people are I've experienced kindness, creative, passionate, you know, wanting to help each other. You know, I love that, like, you know, walking around Kingston, I'm like bound to definitely meet someone that I know, and I'm not going to be like, oh God, I don't want to. It's like, I'm always so like, yeah, like, it's just, I love this place so much. Yeah. Like, the community here is so good.
That's another reason why I've loved working with you, is because I know when we need someone, you know someone.
Yeah.
And we've been able to work with people who are local to really help in as many ways as we can.
Yeah.
And that was something I really wanted, but knowing no one here, doing that on my own would have been really hard. So it's been so nice to work with you, and you do seem so established in this community, and it does feel like there's this sense of support for everyone.
Yeah, the talent here is so good. Like, there's such good, like, mill workers, like artisans, you know, and I think, you know, luckily in my line of work, I'm able to support all of these like amazing people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and we'll definitely, in the next conversation, we'll go into all the details about people we've worked with and things along those lines. But I also love how I think that when people think healer, we can think of it in a very specific way, but it is so healing to help people make spaces beautiful and to help them feel like themselves in a space. And so I think it is stretching the bounds of what we think an identity is, and really just following our passion and our path, and knowing that it will impact people in the way it's meant to. And I know that you want to infuse more Reiki and other types of healing modalities into this, but yeah, I truly see the work that you do as so healing. And it has, I mean, for many different reasons, that could be its whole own podcast. Creating this space has been really healing for me, and I mean, working with you has definitely been a part of that. But has it felt healing for you, helping other people have that kind of transformation?
100%. Yeah, I get pretty emotional about just, you know, when clients send me photos of, you know, and their excitement, and you know, and being part of, you know, I have one client that just found out that she's pregnant, and I'm helping her with the nursery. And so it's just, yeah, I'm just so grateful for being able to be in this line of work, and to be called upon to do this, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah. And
I know you mentioned that you have seen psychics before, and you recently saw a psychic and sent me their number, and
I
very much want to go to them. But how do you feel like you have this, I mean, you've touched on it, but even more specifically, do you feel like you have this connection to your intuition? And if so, has that always been there? How has that developed, and how does that show up for you in your life?
So it's funny, like, I didn't think that I was, like, I thought like I could have more of a connection with my intuition. I didn't think it was as strong, but when I mentioned that to other people, they're, you know, and they're like, no, you're there, like you. So I think I'm doing a lot of work on myself right now to really try to put the phone away, and really journal, meditate, and listen. You know, I do this thing where I have a tarot deck, and I draw a card. I do this thing. I'm like, okay, spirit, like whatever card falls out, like I'm just shuffling. Whatever card falls out is what I need to know, and I pull it out, and then I journal about it. And so I think the more I'm practicing in things like this, then I think the more I'm seeing a difference. So I think it's work, and I think that I'm still working hard. I'm listening more. Someone just recently told me, I think it was my sister, that your intuition is your future self. Like what you're hearing is your future self telling you what you need to hear, which I thought was interesting.
That is interesting. I've never heard that before, but I mean, I think there's something that could definitely be true in that. And I think I do think that people have these ideas of what being intuitive means, and that it has to look again like a certain way.
Yeah.
But I think we're all intuitive, and
yeah,
I think that the ways that you are practicing, like these rituals you're incorporating now and listening, I mean, I think that that's the way we connect to our intuition most strongly in all areas of our life. But even if you had never heard the word intuition, I know you're a very intuitive person, because I think that shows up in your work, like how you know what will look good together, or how you know to immediately be like, no, and how you've even known who to work with, or what's going to work out, what's not. That trust in yourself and that energetic pull towards or away from things, that's intuition.
Yeah.
But I think then these other rituals, these other practices allow us to really strengthen it in all areas of our lives, especially the areas where we may doubt ourselves more.
Yeah. What came up for me is, just second guessing. Like, I think that it's easy to second guess a lot, especially like when you get information from other people. So that first thought is usually kind of the best, and the one that makes the most sense. Yeah, and the world is so noisy, and I think that's the most important thing that we can all do, is to really disconnect from that in any way that we can. And I mean, I think everyone's intuition kind of shows up for them in different ways, and knowing your human design, yours is very this like gut instinct of knowing things. And again, I think really intuition is built off of this trust and like allowing that energy to lead. Yeah, 100%. I agree.
If you could leave behind one thing in your life right now and just say, I'm shedding this, I'm releasing it, I'm not picking it back up, what would that be?
Well, like it's gone forever. Like I really want to get rid of I really don't want my phone anymore. But then the thing is like, how am I going to connect with people? Like how are they going to reach me? In my line of work, I have to show my work. And so Instagram is, but I'm like, I really, I was just in I did another Reiki, I think that's what you mentioned. I went to Canada for that, and I was like, okay, no phone, turning it off, and it was like the best thing ever. So, I mean, that was like the first thing that came to mind, but I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm everything you just said, I'm like 100% with you. If I didn't have the certain goals that I do for my business, or need it in the ways that I do for my business, and also I love writing and sharing certain things in certain ways, but I would definitely not be on my phone in the ways that I am. But I think that what we can say around like shedding, releasing it, for me at least, is like not doing it. Yeah, there are some things I like feel I need to do for my business, like you were saying, posting pictures and stuff like that, but not doing things just because we think we should.
Yeah.
Or just because someone else has said this is the way you have to be successful, or this is the way you have to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And really utilizing technology in the ways that feel good for me, and setting the boundaries that feel good for me, and not worrying when I take more time off of social media or my phone than some strategic social media person tells you to do, you know?
Yeah, and I think, you know, you do such a fabulous job with your stories, and no, I mean, you do. And I think like you're educating others, and I think that that's like using it as a tool to help people.
Exactly, yeah.
Is a positive. So that is the benefit for sure. I think it's just like putting some boundaries.
Yeah, I've really established these boundaries for myself right now, where it's like I go on, for me, I really just use Substack and Instagram. I'm like, I go on and I post my things, I respond to messages, I do whatever I need to do, and then I get off.
Nice.
And I'll maybe go on once more at the end of the day to wrap things up and everything, but that's it. Like, I'm not scrolling, I'm not like engaging just because I think I should. I like that, and that I've just implemented this since I took a little hiatus for my birthday, but that has felt like so good.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get on that train.
Yeah, I mean, I've just found it so helpful, because you don't realize how you reach for your phone, like, you know.
Yeah.
In just habitually.
It's a habit, yeah.
And, you know, we both don't want to be on our phone so much. There's so many more, we can be on it less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to like have it, if someone sends you a text, that you can get a message back that you're not available.
Yeah, they should. I feel like
voicemail, email, but not text.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing.
They should definitely do that.
Anyways.
The best thing, now we're just getting down the technology rabbit hole, but the best thing that I've ever discovered on text is sending the text later, because I am someone who likes to respond to things right away. But first of all, I don't want to set the precedent that people expect me to respond right away all the time. And also, it's like if I respond later, then they'll respond later, and then like I can just put my phone away and not worry about it.
Oh, that's good.
So I'll schedule texts out.
Oh,
and that's been
game changer.
So good.
Okay,
yeah.
Good to know.
Highly recommend.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, there's so many more things I want to talk about.
So much.
What has been one of the main themes that you feel like has popped up and like woven itself through your life?
Let me think here. I mean, again, it's like helping people is the thing that just kind of comes to mind. I truly think that like we are all here to help people. So I try to make that my focus every day.
I love that.
Yeah.
And when you say that that's been a theme, is that like what has been revealed to you that you're meant to do, and or it just like keeps coming into your head and you feel drawn to it? Like what do you mean by that?
I think it just keeps coming into my head. Yeah, I think that's like, yeah. Yeah.
And again, it's thinking outside of the box that people put what helping people is meant to be.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that we all can wake up and be like, how can I serve today? Or how can I help people the best I can today? And that doesn't have to look like being a doctor or, you know, whatever that can really, like, that can look like leaving the door open for someone or, you know, buying flowers for someone. It's like the simplest things. And yeah, I think I do feel that if we all are walking our path and like really staying true to ourselves, ultimately, even if we don't think
we impact. Even if you're living by yourself in the woods and you don't think you interact with anyone, you are helping people because you are staying true to who you are, and that like ripples out.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much chaos happening right now, and I think that, you know, we just have to be mindful of how we're treating others, and there's a lot of people are having a hard time right now. So, you know, just really trying to lift spirits, be there for people, smiling.
No, I feel exactly the same. Okay, before I also, so you can't see him, but Brooke's dog is here.
I was like, wait, who?
A ghost is in the room. Brooke's dog is here, Red.
Red-a-roni.
And he's the sweetest.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your story to choosing to get a dog, finding Red.
Yeah. Well, I've had dogs before, and Red was when we moved to New Paltz. I had a golden retriever and a German shepherd, and unfortunately the golden retriever passed, and we wanted a friend for Sierra. And, you know, Red just kind of came up, and I picked her up, and she was just as she is now. She's just like so playful. She's 9, but you'd think that she's 2.
I always forget she's 9.
Yeah.
For some reason I thought she was Theo's age, but clearly she's not.
Yeah, no, she's so great. She comes with me a lot to my job, to my projects. You know, when it makes sense, if the weather's nice. She loves the car, and she's a healer too, for sure. I've thought about making her a service dog, but I think at this point it might be too late. But
I wanted to make Theo a service dog. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she was Red, which is why her name is Red. Red with 2 D's though.
She's not really red anymore.
No, she's more blonde. Yeah, but she's the greatest.
Living intuitively wild means connecting to your true self and living dedicated to who you are at your core, no matter what. How do you feel like you live intuitively wild?
I think that through everything, you know, and everything I've done, I'm at this point now where I'm more mindful about what it is that I am doing, and I am listening more to my intuition. And I definitely think that I'm living intuitively wild. I think it helps make things flow a little easier. You know, you're not resisting. It's just like life is just so much easier that way.
Yeah, and it's been so cool getting to know you, and I feel like being able to witness as you step into this more intuitive side of you. Yeah. And I don't know, just like bringing that out in each other, I feel like has been really cool.
Yeah, it's been a really fun ride. And I like I said, I am going to live here. I'll be here all the time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about the process of creating everything. It's been quite a journey that Brooke has been my saving grace on. And so we're going to talk about that in part 2 and all the details and the bench that I decided to keep even though Brooke hates. And yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yay!
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Intuitively Wild, the podcast. I hope it helped deepen your connection to yourself, sparked some insights, and inspired you to live intuitively wild. If you enjoyed this podcast, it would mean so much to me if you would share it with others and leave a rating and review. And please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. I will see you next time for more magic.